Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
And on that note, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentlemen. A very exciting episode of Geeky Gentlemen. This is our first episode of Geeky Gentlemen in the year 2017, even though it is currently being recorded on one of the final days of 2016, which is our topic tonight. But before we get into all that, I just wanted to introduce everyone that's here tonight. I am, of course, your lovely host, Sid Part 2, that, is here every week. I am joined today, as I have been lately, by Rasco's Modern Life, a.k.a. Rasco Jackson. Say hello, Rasco.
Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. And joining us as a special guest is one Mr. Connor Nielsen. Say hello, Connor.
Hola.
And there's someone else here that, just dropped off the face of the earth, and luckily he's back now. Say hello, Steve.
Hello, Steve.
Yay!
Yay!
That joke is even better in this context. Not hard to do considering it's a bad joke, but you know.
Yeah, It's one of those things that someone thought of it one time and it was clever like that once, and then they got a genuine laugh, so they kept doing it, and then it got really annoying and no one wanted to hang out with them, but it somehow caught on. That's what I think happened. That's the epistemology of that joke.
It's exactly like that's what she said.
Exactly. Anyway, so Rasco picked our topic tonight. He, of course, didn't remember it until 2 seconds ago.
I pick the best topics, and then I forget them, and then I, get really excited when I learn what they are. So I actually like this.
Rasco, what are we talking about again?
We're talking about 2016, motherfucker. This is the best, worst year ever.
It's the year that everyone loves to hate.
It's very easy to hate.
There's so much to hate about 2016.
Yep. I can't think of a single person I know that's had a good 2016.
It's one of those things where I don't think I've had, just personally speaking, a bad year. I've had some good stuff happen. I got a new job and all that stuff.
You got engaged.
What?
You got engaged this year, right?
Yeah, I got engaged. There's been some good stuff that's happened this year. For me personally, but just, the world at large is, bleeding out right now. And what makes it all worse is there's very little indication 2017 will be better.
I remember, we couldn't just have, something good happen in 2017 without something bad happening. I remember I turned 21. Awesome. The same day David Bowie, Alan Rickman died the day I died, or the day I turned 21. So I was like, oh boy. No, wait, no, Gene Wilder died. I'm sorry, they all died this year. So
it's so hard.
Everyone died.
Gene Wilder died the same day I turned 21. So it's like my childhood ended the day Gene Wilder died. There's some kind of poetry to that, and it makes me really sad.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh my god.
I was listening to the radio this morning, and you know how, at the end of the year, the stations will put together a compilation song of all the people that we've lost, and the song was a good 3-4 minutes long. I was like, Jesus Christ! It's not like they stuck on one artist for a while. They kept going and changing. Only everybody got half a verse, more or less. It was pretty bad. Rasco keeps dropping in and out.
Connection. That's another thing that would not improve in 2016.
Oh, I'm gonna feel bad if Rasco can't be here for his own topic. But that would be the perfect metaphor for 2016, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Should we
Okay.
do this in the most depressing way possible, where we all go around and say what the most depressing thing about this year is?
I don't even know. You're the returning host, so I guess we'll follow your lead. Okay, Steve, you start us off since you're the one that always has the perfectly formed opinion and thoughts on everything.
Yes.
What in your mind is the singular most depressing thing about 2016?
Okay. So I'm gonna put Donald Trump off the table because fuck that. There are definitely many things this year that are bad culturally and politically and just universally. But I'm going to pick something personal. I think the worst thing about this year for me is that I lost my entire comic book collection.
Aww.
I know. That's
Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm sorry.
It's very depressing. That is easily.
Story.
Yeah, it is depressing. Rasco's back.
It is very depressing. Fuck you, Rasco.
Again,
No,
another
sorry.
reason to hate 2016.
That's
Guys.
going
Go
to be our
ahead.
ringtone from now on.
Fuck you, Rasco.
How about a new segment called that?
Yeah. Anyway, Steve, continue.
That was mostly it. It was just like that meant a lot to me. It was important, and I lost the whole thing.
Yeah. I'll wait till we can talk when we're not on recording to ask about
Yeah,
that.
we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Oh,
Because I got to learn like what I'm allowed to say about all that and not.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay. Anyway.
You people can't listen, you perverts.
Okay. Rasco, how about you? What is in your mind the singular most depressing thing about 2016?
Oh, fuck. God, just my fucking life, dude.
I thought you were going to stop at God. I'm like, yes, absolutely.
Well, that too. I don't know. I mean, this is the obvious one, but like Carrie Fisher dying sucks ass.
Yeah.
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 I did a video with Joel and Red Leader Antilles on the Imperial HoloNet podcast, which I gotta say, great title, guys.
It is a great
really
title.
easy to remember that. But yeah, I did a short podcast with those guys about Carrie Fisher's death, and it's just like, are you fucking serious?
And her
We're
mom-
almost at the end, and not only does she die, but her mom dies the next day.
Singing in the
And I'm
Rain
not-
is one of my favorite movies of all time. That really killed me.
See, I'm not a Debbie Reynolds fan. I'm not even like a huge Carrie Fisher fan or anything. It's just like, she's a cool lady, though.
Yeah.
And it just fucking sucks.
Here's a positive that comes out of her death, though. Okay, so in episode 3, everyone makes fun of the fact that Padme dies of a broken heart. We've established that is medically accurate now after Carrie Reynolds' death. So we've just eliminated a problem with episode 3.
That is
really
long-standing medically accurate and entirely possible.
Does that really make it better, though? Now we have one more cause of death.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man, it's been pretty bad. How about you, Connor? What is your singular worst part about 2016?
So I watch movies a lot.
Really?
2014. Oh yeah. I watch a couple. But 2012, 2013, and 2014, we are at a pretty good incline there. They were some really good years for movies. 2015 was okay. Really disappointing, especially in comparison to 2014, which was awesome. But man, 2016 just sucked. Like I wish I had a righteous fury about it, but I was beaten into submission of apathy, just the constant going to the movies and not enjoying myself day and day and day out, month out, and I really didn't like movies this year. It's like even now, it's like the middle of Oscar season. My favorite movie came out in freaking April. Like
Yeah.
like it's so frustrating. Like seriously, Casey Affleck in Manchester by the Sea is gonna win Best Actor. I mean, it's good, but that one, okay. But even down to like music sucked this year. I don't play video games, but apparently video games sucked this year. This was a really bad year for movies. The politics was a complete, like, the 2016 election was a clown show from start to finish. Like, it was absurd. And, man, then, like, this was my first time being eligible to vote in an election. And it was this election. Oh my god.
But that's a great story, though. Like, this is going to be a historic year, and you get to say, I was there, I saw this, and it was just as funny as it's being depicted now in history.
But one thing, though, is I really want to see how, looking forward, though, I want to see how art looks like, how art reflects this year, because I think we're going to get good movies, we're going to get good fiction, we're going to get good music, we're going to get a good something out of this year, through all the pain and suffering we've sat through. If Whiplash and Sing Street have taught me anything, it's that true art is achieved through adversity and hardship. But we can get there, guys.
I love when people make that argument. Like obviously Connor's being a bit facetious, but I love when people, like, legit make that argument. I'm like, oh, good. That's true. You know, I bet you could be a great artist if I just got to cut off your hand real quick. Come here. Come here. But, yeah, for me, the singular worst thing about 2016 was not the election itself or just generally politics around the world. It was a very particularly frightening thing, at least for me personally, was the rise of far-right parties as legitimate forms of political expression again. Because when I was growing up, it was normal to dismiss far-right fascist white supremacist groups. If someone at all associated with them, they were over. There was no, there's no validity in anything those people had to say, and it was, it was just well-accepted fact that you do not engage with this. There is nothing there of substance. We know what this leads to, and we all, universally agree that it's awful, so we don't, quote-unquote, ignore it, but we do not put stock in it. And now, the fuck happened to that? Now they are a legitimate force of political power. They have control of this country. They just got Britain to kick itself out of the EU. They're, rising in power in France and Germany.
Again in Germany.
Yeah, again in Germany. It's all the same, rhetoric and stuff, and that's really frightening as hell to me. There have been a great number of parallels. There's one of the big campaign things for Brexit was a picture of a bunch of refugees coming into the country, and it was wouldn't it be great if we could control who got to come into our country? And then it was paralleled with the early pre-World War II image of Nazi propaganda about Jews and immigrants. It was almost the exact same kind of picture, just huge group of people, and the message was more or less the same. It was keep foreigners out. How is this happening again? Literally, how?
I think Brexit can be explained in that there are clearly people that are taking advantage of this idea of refugees, and I think that it's very easy to scare people with the idea that these people that we're letting in, a lot of these people legitimately need our help, but at the same time, it's easy for people to take advantage of that.
I just use Brexit because it's not the election.
Yeah.
And we've already done a whole fucking video on the election, that's why. But it shows just how the parallels exist, and it's, a wider concern for the world. It's not American-centric. And it's European. And once again, I find the whole thing, baffling that this is happening.
And when we talk about that, I always hear people in conversation talking about things like dialectic of enlightenment, or origins of totalitarianism, all these classic philosophical texts about fascism. And my brain just always goes, you realize these things were written to analyze fascism after it was over. They were not meant as warnings for the future.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's been my, single worst thing. Because I grew up, like I said, just believing that not racism and stuff was over, but that it wasn't a political, open political force anymore. Mm-hmm. That you could not be openly racist and gain political power. I honestly believed that growing up. And now I don't. And that's horrible? So yeah, that's where that's obviously for me the worst thing. I mean, not to make everyone else's seem petty, but
Well, you have
to make everyone else's seem petty. Scotter's like, oh, I don't get good movies.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because
Post-truth is another thing. I can't fucking stand post-truth.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Okay, it's supposed to mean one of two things depending on who you talk to. One is that we have moved past the concept of theory, which is bullshit. And then the other thing is that facts and analysis of a situation don't matter as much as the mythic structure of a situation does, and that is also bullshit.
So, to break that down for younger ears, what the idea is supposed to mean is, it doesn't matter what's true, it matters how you feel. So Stephen Colbert's truthiness.
Yes, that's actually a very good way to compare it, yes. Stephen Colbert's truthiness, the idea of common sense, even though common sense doesn't actually exist, things like this, there's these concepts that seem like they're natural and always existed, but they don't, and we act like they do, and it's gotten worse.
So, the same year that Ian was accused of being a terrorist, it was a worse time. There was something worse than being accused of being a terrorist this year for Ian.
Yeah, I mean, that just kind of...
I think that was the highlight of Ian's year.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of like my vindication of, see, I'm fucking right, now everyone shut up and listen to me. For those that don't know, I'm a confirmed Muslim terrorist that's also an atheist.
Hashtag confirmed.
Hashtag confirmed.
When did this happen?
Oh, I'll tell you about it
It's a
later.
great
I don't want to lead people to it.
Yeah, never mind what we've been talking about, people. Nothing happened.
No, just they'll figure it out if they really want to, but I don't want to leave breadcrumbs and get him more views than he deserves. Anyway, no, just like that kind of vindicated me. I'm like, see, I'm fucking right. Why don't people listen to me? Like, I keep getting this, oh, well, it's not really that bad. You're just exaggerating. I'm like, motherfucker, what have you been watching? How isolated do you have to be?
Oh man, it's depressing. I can't think of very many good things that have happened this year.
I'll go with Civil War and Rogue One.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, definitely.
Those are good.
I will say though, Civil War I think is the only comic book movie that came out this year that's worth watching. I think all the other ones are meh to bad.
Trying to think what else came out.
Deadpool, Doctor
I like
Strange, BVS, Suicide Squad, X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, I like Deadpool and all that, so.
We talked about, I don't know if we've ever talked about it on Geeky Gentlemen, but we've talked about in the past how, like, this was the year that, to some extent, every movie was either gold or shit, and there's no middle ground.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot.
And, you know, I at first I was feeling as if that was kind of bullshit, but, the more I think about it, the movies that I liked this year, I absolutely fucking loved, and the movies that were bad were really fucking bad. There were a few exceptions. Like, I think Doctor Strange isn't, like, great, but I don't think it's bad.
Right. It's in that middle chunk of Marvel movies that are just there.
Like Ant-Man.
Like
Thor.
the Thor movies, yeah.
Yeah, to me, like, Doctor Strange, though, was a huge disappointment. Like, of all the like, I have a bottom 3 Marvel movies, like a top 5 Marvel movies, and then everything else is just kind of in the middle. It's probably at the bottom of the middle, though. Like, yeah.
I wouldn't put it at the bottom of the middle. For me, it's more like the middle of the middle.
Doctor Strange, the middle of the middle.
Yeah, I really liked it visually. I just don't think it's particularly great. But yeah, aside from Doctor Strange, everything was either amazing or awful. Like, The Nice Guys is genius. Civil War is genius. Hail Caesar is genius.
Green Room. Great fucking movies.
Suicide Squad is utter garbage.
Suicide Squad is the worst comic book movie ever made. Like, it's so terrible.
I saw BVS and then I saw Suicide Squad. I'm like, how could Suicide Squad possibly be worse than it was?
Steve, I have a question real quick. Yeah. This is completely unrelated to anything. Is every single one of your worst comic book movies a DC film at this point?
No.
Okay, that's a good sign.
I had to think about that for a second, because I was just thinking of what came out that I would consider the worst. No.
Okay. I'm assuming Fan 4 Stick's on there somewhere.
Fan 4 Stick's on there. I think Thor the Dark World is utter garbage.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of another Marvel one off the top of my head. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Fuck that.
I hate that movie.
Yeah, okay. No, it's just random curious thought. Yeah, I agree. It's just been, to Rasko's point, even though he dropped out again, it's just been one of those things where, like, there's not been much middle ground. Like, we often talk about how nothing can just be okay anymore. But I'll admit, I've not seen a lot of new movies because I saw a lot of trailers of, like, that looks like shit. I don't want to go watch that.
You weren't necessarily wrong.
We gave video game movies a try this year. We got Warcraft, which I thought was terrible. We got Assassin's Creed, which was worse. And we got Ratchet & Clank, which might have been the best of the three.
I liked Ratchet & Clank. I was alright with Warcraft. I don't give a shit about the Assassin's Creed movie. That just looks dull.
I fell asleep. I actually fell asleep during that movie.
But Steve, it's a movie about assassins and their creed.
Are we talking about Assassin's Crack?
I don't even know anything about that movie. I know nothing about that movie. I just know everyone wants to hate it now, and I'm just like, you know what? Fine, I'll get on this train.
Look,
just because I never am on this train.
Trailer, there was not much hope.
I'm never on this train, so I'm gonna get on the hate train just because. I'm gonna be that guy that hasn't seen the movie but hates it anyway. That's gonna be me because I give no shits about Assassin's Creed.
Have you seen like the Da Vinci Code or Angels and Demons or Inferno?
Yes.
Basically, it's like that, but without Robert Langdon. It's that stupid. Like it's that.
You know, no, it was quite funny to me because I saw they posted another trailer like right before Christmas, and they put Carol of the Bells in as the music. I'm like, well, they're really pushing into this to try to get people to think it's a Christmas movie? What?
I don't get that. Like, what the fuck are you on, Assassin's Creed? What are you on, for real?
Every one of those trailers was bad. I can't think of a single trailer for that movie that made it look like it was worth watching.
I am a god.
No, I'm a man of God. Put my whole life in the hand of God.
Oh my god. Why would you put that song in that trailer?
They put it for the other part that kind of does sound cool, where it's like Bob Marley or someone's like, blah, 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 it's just like random noises. It's like ominous music, but then Kanye West comes in and ruins it. They should have just muted him and left
Kanye West comes in and ruins it could be the tagline of most of his life.
Yeah, just get rid of Kanye and keep like the weird
I'm gonna let you finish.
sampling.
Man. Oh. Alright, so, like, I know I'm a transition here, and I'm probably tempting the gods. But, we're gonna go round robin again.
Ooh.
Don't hate us, Kanye.
What could possibly make 2016 worse? And what could it do to redeem itself in the last day of 2016, even though this video will be posted after the fact?
The worst thing 2016 could do at this point, for me, to make itself worse, is to announce Tom King is done on Batman. If that happens, I will fucking riot, alright? I didn't throw shit when Donald Trump was elected. I didn't throw shit when Carrie Fisher died, but if you ruin Tom King, and redeem itself, the best thing I can come up with for redeeming itself is, towards the end of it, if we just kind of have the British government acknowledge that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I feel like if they do that, we might be able to salvage more of world politics, even if the U.S. is doomed. Like, just have someone from Parliament come out and say, like, look, we don't know. We're sorry. We didn't think you were this dumb.
We're making it up as we go.
Yeah, we will try to have the slowest transition possible. I don't know.
Okay, how about you, Rasko?
Oh, God. The thing that could make 2016 worse?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Like, I don't want to say someone... I don't want to even mention, like, someone that I don't want to die for fear that they will die, because 2016 is just going out really hard.
Don't worry, Betty White's got a GoFundMe.
Fuck, like... I don't know. YouTube could... You know what? Here's a great one. YouTube's been, YouTube, we're on YouTube right now. You've been fucking people, YouTube. You've been fucking us hard. Your stupid search algorithms suck, and you're lame. If YouTube continues down its BS path that it's on right now, then that will be the thing that just throws me over the edge. You can do a lot of things that will piss me off, but if you fuck with YouTube, I get really pissed.
Oh, yeah. I should mention, you remember the Bad Santa 2 review?
Yeah.
Okay, so Christmas Day, I get a message at like 9:30 in my email, and it's like, your video has been removed for a copyright strike.
What the fuck?
Yeah, for the Bad Santa 2 review. And just as, like, I didn't get a chance to look at the email till like 10:20. And then as I'm looking and trying to figure out what the hell's going on, I go back to my email real quick to look at the email again, and I notice I have another email. And it's from YouTube. It says, this copyright strike has been removed because of the person that made it has removed the claim. Like, what the fuck? Like, you couldn't watch it for like 10 seconds to realize it wasn't the goddamn movie? You just strike me and then remove it like fucking willy-nilly?
Better safe than sorry. That seems to be their policy right now.
Yeah, and that's horseshit. Hashtag WTFU.
Literally every one of my YouTube videos that is over half an hour long just recently got a copyright claim filed. All of the Dark Knight videos I did that are just me talking to a person have copyright strikes on them for no reason.
Well, that serves you for talking about fucking movies that you like. Fuck you, you little disgusting internet troll, you.
Uh-huh. Okay, Rasco, what could 2016 do to redeem itself?
Okay, so I think that I'm not a religious person, but I think that, if someone else could be the next heir to Jesus Christ and like a famous celebrity that has died or like that died a long time ago needs to come back to life and like be a prophet. That's what needs to happen.
Vincent Price is back, bitches.
Yes!
I was thinking maybe Peter Cushing could come back.
Okay, that too.
Yeah.
And Peter Cushing could be like, how did they get me in this movie? Like, seriously, I don't remember even saying anything like this. That's totally me, though.
Or
and then everyone that's complaining could just shut their mouth.
Like me, and he'll piss you off. He'll just do it to spite you, Ian.
Yeah. I don't know, like, how hilarious would that be if if Peter Cushing somehow came back, it's like, wow, how'd they get me in there? I don't even understand this. And it's like, oh no, it's actually a computer effect. What?
Mind blown.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose people would be more surprised that Peter Cushing is back from the dead than they are that he's, like, impressed with a digital effect. But, like, on a personal level, for me, that would make me happier.
Maybe Jackson will be the one that comes back.
Maybe.
And then, yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe he'll be Michael Jackson.
Okay, how about you, Connor? What could 2016 do to be even worse? Because, like, we were talking about this before we got started. Steve and I currently rank it in the top 15. I don't know where you two stand on that, but, like, what could it do from going to the top 15 to absolutely, undisputably number one?
Well, I could get AIDS. That could happen. And I and not get it the fun way, like just cut myself on accident and get AIDS. That would suck.
God damn. I mean, I can't dispute that, but like, damn, Connor.
Well, no, it's like one of my dearest friends. He got testicular cancer this year. Like, and that sucks. So people in my life have not had good years. I've had long-time friendships end this year. I've spent a lot of time being angry. My car blew up, and I'm still trying to change the transmission. Like, but
I was hoping it like blew up, and like walked away from the explosion without looking at it.
Oh,
cool.
Only I could be so lucky.
Explosions. They blow things up and then walk away.
Yeah, exactly.
I just thought of something that could make the year worse, but continue, Connor. I'll get to it after you're done.
So yeah, if something could be worse, like, I don't know, I get AIDS, and like I know my days are numbered, and be like, yeah, it was in that block of time that was 2016, and it was that awful. But things that could make it better. Okay, I got a couple of things. One, Drive It Like You Stole It from Sing Street could win an Oscar. That will make, please please, that's the one original song that deserves... Like, I've never been excited for a Best Original Song at an Oscars ever. But if Drive It Like You Stole It can at least get it nominated and win, that would make it all worth it. Redeem this year a little bit.
But you wouldn't find out until, like, February, though. Would that really be worth it?
It would, because I care that much. Also, can we just get a release date for the Twin Peaks revival already? Can we please just get that? Yeah, that'll... If we get it, I'll at least be semi-happy at that. So, yeah, I guess that'll might redeem it. I don't know.
Can we talk about later? Can we talk about what could fuck up 2017?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay,
we'll get there.
I'm excited for that discussion.
Okay, you said you thought of a new thing that make 2016 worse?
Yeah, so this is something that I think a lot of people want, but I don't think they've fully thought it through yet. I think a lot of people think that if Donald Trump were to somehow, like, miraculously die, it would make this year better.
No!
You're wrong.
God,
it would
no.
make this year substantially worse, because then we'd have Mike Pence.
I can't believe he is in that office.
Can we start calling Mike Pence Mike Penis? I just want to call him for the...
I'm still in love with the Mike Pence lookalike that's gathering money for, like, gay activism.
That's awesome.
I love that so much.
I've never heard of this before, but now I'm excited.
I'll send you a link.
Thank you. Please do. Okay, for me, the thing that could make 2016 even worse is... It's really hard to think of. It's been a really fucking bad year. I think we could make 2016 worse just for, like, the world, because I'm a more world thinker. I don't really think about myself that much.
He's calling us self-centered, guys.
Yeah. No, because Steve, yours was worldwide. The thing that could make 2016 worse, like if Tom King left Batman, that would make the world a worse place.
That would objectively make the world a worse place.
Yeah. The thing that could make 2016 worse for me, oh man, would be if we actually like lost Obama before the inauguration day.
Fuck.
Like, because that would just start a fucking powder keg, no matter like how it happened. In my mind, if he goes somehow or other before that point, there's just no fucking way that people are going to be okay with it and say, oh, well, let's just get to the inauguration. Like, I honestly think that would make the year even worse. Even though he doesn't have any real power left, just that act would, like, I mean, he just pissed off the Russians, so maybe they're thinking of something. I don't know. Putin's played it off all cool. It's like, no, I don't get it. Get him now. For me, the thing that could make 2016 better, and Rasko just talked about, oh, what if, Trump miraculously died or something. What if Trump and Pence were together on the stage at Inauguration Day, and, like, Captain America came in and did a really good punch so that not only did he punch Donald Trump in the face, but Trump, like, fell over into Mike Pence, knocking them both unconscious into comas for the rest of their lives. How about that?
Oh, hooray.
Yeah, just like, what if fucking Chris Evans, like, just showed up at the inauguration to show support in the Captain America costume, and then right at the last second just really timed that.
And then the entire world would break out into the song Star Spangled Man with a Plan.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that would be so brilliant.
That song is still really funny. I like it.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's just so weird that movie has two really, really, like, the best parts of that movie are montages.
Yeah.
There are two separate montages, which is usually reserved for 80s films, but there are two separate montages, and they're objectively the best things about that movie.
I really do like that movie, though. Anyway.
Yeah, me too. Just the montages are the best.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Rasko, since you started us off, I assume you've got something cooking in your brain. What could make 2017 objectively worse than 2016?
Okay.
It's not going to take much, right?
I don't care about other people when it comes to me thinking about the future years. I only care about what I want right now.
You're a teenager, it's okay.
So, yeah. If Alien Covenant sucks balls, I will, like, kill myself. And I'll upload it to YouTube.
It'll be a live stream.
It's like, Ridley Scott, you did this! Well, I mean, Rasco, I hate to tell you, but that's a really bad bet to make, because the Alien films do not have a great track record.
But here's the thing to keep in mind. Alien, the second in a trilogy of Alien films has never been bad so far. You could have said that about the first and the. Never mind. It's irrelevant. There's ridiculous reasons to be optimistic, and I'll just hold on to those.
It probably won't be as bad as Resurrection, right?
It can't
I mean, it would have to actively try.
No, you have to try. You don't just have to do that.
Yeah, because Resurrection was fucked on every level.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, I didn't like Prometheus, but it's objectively better.
Prometheus is shot really well. That's the one thing I'll give it. It's meaningless, but it's shot really well.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, how about you, Connor? What can make 2017 worse than 2016?
I don't know. Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr could die. That would make it all worse. Like,
that's who I like. George Michael died on Christmas, and he's cool music, cool guy. I'm sure I like one or two of his songs, but for like half a second, I'm like, wait, shit, did a fucking Beatle die?
Yeah.
Before I like really finished reading the name.
Like that's the thing where it's like, if the last two Beatles die, if both of them go, then nothing can undo the death of the half of the Beatles, and they both died the same year. That would make 2017 the worst.
Okay, well, like, here's the thing that I do think is worth talking about, because I've heard people make this complaint about people complaining about 2016, which is, guys, old people die. It's gonna happen next year, too. It's gonna happen every year. And, to be fair, a lot of our cultural icons are really getting up there.
Yep,
so we should
all of them are old. Like, George Michael was 53. Darwin Cook was 52. Like,
I know, I get it. I get what you're saying, but the thing is, those are still ages where medical issues become more and more part of your life.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like, as you get older and older, your health does decline. This is a fairly common thing among the populace, except for those that take exceptionally good care of themselves. Like, don't get me wrong, Carrie Fisher, really nice lady, love me some Princess Leia. That woman put her body through hell.
Yeah.
In the best way possible, right?
Yeah, I mean, she had fun doing it, but she put her body through hell. I was not shocked that she had health issues and that she passed. Doesn't change the fact that it fucking sucks, but I was not surprised to hear about this, especially in 2016, because nothing was off limits. But this does get to the wider issues. Like, people die every year. Why are we making such a big deal out of all the deaths we've had this year? Is it just the number?
I think I know what it is. Something is going on right now in Hollywood, in particular. This mainly applies to actors, I think. Something that's happening right now is that we are getting a lot of the actors that we loved as kids to come back in movies and franchises and roles that, like, normally that wouldn't happen. Normally you wouldn't see an actor come back to a franchise like 30 years after the franchise had kind of ended. Mm-hmm. And because of that, we're having all of the people that we loved growing up with thrown back in the spotlight. And normally we wouldn't be paying it. Like, normally, you wouldn't have, like, if we didn't have Episode 7 and Carrie Fisher died, it'd be like, oh, Princess Leia died. But it wouldn't be like you just saw her in a movie.
I guess I could see that. Like, the obvious exceptions would be, Alan Rickman and Prince, because besides an episode of New Girl, what has Prince done lately, right?
No, he's toured, though. He's been touring.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, my dad saw him, 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, to underscore Raska's point and have a more general take on it, I think it's also partly because communication between fans and celebrities is so open lately.
Yeah.
With social media and such, let's say, for example, I don't want this to happen. Let's say, for example, if Joss Whedon dies tomorrow, even though he hasn't made anything since Age of Ultron, it doesn't matter because you see him on Twitter all day.
Yeah.
Like, it would still have a big impact on you because you, in a sense, you are communicating with them in a basis that you wouldn't before. Like, if you go back 20 years, then we probably had just as many celebrity deaths for big names. Like, our parents saw the death of John Wayne, our parents saw that kind of stuff a lot, but it meant something different because the cultural impact was either super pronounced like John Wayne, or they had no idea who this person was outside of their movies, so the impact wasn't felt. And now we're very personal with our celebrities. And so it feels like a friend died.
That's really it, because back in the day when like a celebrity had some kind of personal drama that got out in the tabloids or whatever, it affected their career, but end of the day, Marilyn Monroe still sold tickets, right?
Exactly.
That doesn't happen now. Like, Lindsay Lohan is not a big name anymore because of her personal drama. Charlie Sheen has ruined his career completely because of his personal drama, and now we're more aware of it, and we're able to interact with them on a personal level more. So I think you're onto something there, Steve. This is why we've missed you. Brilliant points.
Hooray. I'm like...
Yay!
Oh, I forgot. One of the worst things that happened in 2016 was the death of Darwin Cook. For me personally, like that I actually cried when that happened. Like that actually got to me in a way that a lot of other people. And also, my brothers met Carrie Fisher like a year ago.
Yeah.
And
actually, to both that point and what Steve was talking about, one of the things I am glad about, and at least one of the things I hope, is that these people who are able to hold on for a day or two before they go, these, cultural icon kind of actors and musicians and stuff, I really do hope that they get, like, at least somewhat of a chance to see all the outpouring of support and love that they get in those last moments.
Yeah, that was
like, I
something...
know, they Darwin Cook's family announced that he was going into basically hospice care 2 days or whatever before he died, and Twitter and everything just blew up with all this, affection aimed at Darwin Cook.
Same thing with Carrie Fisher when she had a heart attack.
Yeah, exactly, and I really hope that they got a chance to see some of that.
Yeah, I think in Carrie Fisher's case, there was a video that John Campia from Collider did on Carrie Fisher's death, and one of the things he mentioned was, like, Carrie Fisher didn't really understand how people still really cared about her and liked her until she got up, like, on the stage and saw the fans of Star Wars cheering her again. And It's a great thing that Carrie Fisher got to live to see that people still cared about her, and then, like, all the way till now, like, at least she got to live through that and see how much people still like her. And I mean, it's really sad. It's really just sad, but at least someone knows that they had an impact on people and that they weren't just forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, whether you like The Force Awakens or not, to see Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher on stage for Episode 7 and how crazy that event was last year, that's very meaningful. That's very impactful.
Yeah, I agree. It's weird because Harrison's the only one who's really been, like, the same level of star power since the Star Wars movies. Like, Carrie Fisher
He's
still
like
did
Clint Eastwood. He doesn't stop.
Yeah, Carrie Fisher still did stuff, but she never really... I can't honestly think of something, major blockbuster career kind of thing that she was in after that point.
Well, I mean, she was in When Harry Met Sally, but, like, it wasn't as big as Star Wars.
She was in Austin Powers, wasn't she?
Yeah,
and she did a lot of stuff behind the camera.
She's also a really great writer. That's the thing.
Yeah.
She was still active in Hollywood, and so was Mark Hamill, but they were never, that level of a cultural... they were never in another big franchise kind of thing, is what I'm...
Yeah.
You could argue Mark Hamill with the Joker, but still, no. Like, that was behind the scenes. That was, his face wasn't on it kind of thing. Yeah. So it's just surprising that Ford was the only one to really continue at such a successful career after the fact. And I'm just glad that Fisher got to experience the spotlight again like that, and I hope it made her feel good in her last, year or so. God. Okay, now I'm sad. Steve, what's your thing that could happen to make 2017 even worse?
So there've been lots of studies lately about how many species will go extinct next year. I think the number right now is about at least 5. If that, considering the kind of policies we're getting from Trump and Pence, I'm really worried that number is going to double. And if it does, fuck everything.
Yeah, that's a great feeling.
Sadly, I feel like regardless, because of the way the rest of the world doesn't seem to give a shit either, I feel like it's like almost like
it's bound.
Trump and Pence can't make it like they obviously it can be worse, but like I almost feel like it's like almost too fucking late. Like we're just kind of fucked, and that's what's really horrible about it.
That's the thing with the planet at this point. Like there is lots of damage that is irreversible at this point, and we still have the potential to salvage what's left, but it is salvaging. It's not recovery, and it's never going to be anymore.
Yeah, we passed the carbon limit a couple months ago.
Yeah, 2017 has lots of opportunities to try and salvage the environment, but I don't think it will. I think it's going to be another year where we do more damage.
Of course,
countries like
China. Can I vocalize something?
Yeah,
this is like. So I personally follow the Christian faith. That's just my thing, right? I can't understand how a majority of people who identify the faith I do support like conservative, like Donald Trump, like wasting of the environment. I don't understand that. I actually cannot comprehend that, man. Like,
I mean, even the Nazis had a pro-environment policy. That's why Heidegger joined them.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of like conservatism, like Republican conservative policies are like so indifferent and like kind of wasteful of the environment, right?
Yeah.
And
drill.
Like, and as somebody who's like
Rick Perry's the head of the EPA, he doesn't give 2 fucks. He thinks climate change is fake.
Because here's the frustrating thing, though. It's like, as somebody who believes in a god and believes in like being like all this stuff, right? How come you are throwing this stuff away if you know, like, yeah, even if there's a percent of a chance, and even if it wasn't like proven at this point, how can people be like choose to be ignorant about this?
I know the answer is.
What?
The answer is that, like, people have this really fucking stupid idea of, like, from the beginning, human beings were supposed to live in worlds with toasters and couches and homes and oil lamps and light bulbs and electricity. This is just how it was. This is what it was supposed to be like. The world and the universe, this is the building blocks of reality, is these kind of things. These were always meant to be, and they always will. And so it's here. Obviously, it's here for a reason, so we might as well use it. I think that's the logic behind it.
And I always like to quote Ian's point in this point. I'm like, okay, fine. What if climate change is fake? How is making the planet a better environment a worse thing? Counter arguments.
How is making, like, even if I give you that huge gimme, which I'm not going to give you, but even if I do, like, can you please explain to me why fuel-efficient cars are still a bad thing?
I think that...
I don't understand that.
Even if you want to make the super right-wing capitalist arguments about climate change and the environment, you still have, like, an economic benefit from having a more healthy planet. I don't understand how you argue against that.
How is saving resources a bad idea?
I think that will change people's minds.
Going back to, like, frugal, like, be frugal with our natural resources, people. Like, come on.
The dictionary definition of economics is the distribution of scarce resources. If your goal is to preserve resources, how is that in any way irrational?
I think people will change. The thing that I think can change people's minds is where we start to see the health effects of individual lives.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the first generation of people that is likely to live shorter or live a shorter lifespan than their parents. And like that's telling. And the answer is like, well, why is this? And here's a great example. I live in Kentucky, Kentucky, not the area I live, but
Hello?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, is he again? Damn it.
Damn it.
Well, I live in Portland, and it's pretty beautiful up here. So
You live with all the comic writers.
Sorry, guys.
What's that?
You live with all the comic writers. Everyone who's working in comics right now seems to live in Portland.
I know, dude. I met so many people at Rose City Comic Con, and I wish.
Go get me Tom King. Just now.
Yeah.
Just get it.
I met,
I don't know about that.
guys, I met Terry Dodson, and that guy was like maybe one of the coolest guys I've ever met. Like, he was like, "Hi, Terry Dodson." He picked up our copy of Teen Titans Earth 1 and just started doodling in it.
Oh, that's
talking
awesome.
with us. And so he drew this really cool doodle of Raven just like flying off of a building. I'm like, oh my god, you're so. And I also met Kurt Busiek, who was really, really funny. But
Oh, that's awesome. Kurt Busiek is great. I always wished I could talk to him.
Yeah, that's good.
sorry, back to 20. You know what? This is relevant because I met them in 2016. So there you go.
Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm sorry.
All right, something about Kentucky.
Continue your point.
All right, so yeah. I live in Kentucky. So I live in Louisville, Kentucky. It's at the tip. It's like at the northern. It's like right on the Ohio River between Kentucky and Indiana.
Yeah, you could come visit me sometime.
Yeah, I could. And so it's in like it's towards like western Kentucky. It's more to the west. And in the east is where we have the Appalachian Mountains. And the eastern Kentucky is the cancer capital of America for sure, and I'm pretty sure the world as well. If you like lay over like a map of like cancer rates, it's like a cesspool of cancer in eastern Kentucky. And it's because of mountaintop removals for coal mining and stuff like that. And I think that when people start to literally die and have like health consequences from the carcinogens that things like coal mining essentially cause, I think that that is when people will stop. Because, you know, even if you... So, like, my whole thing is, like, even if you are someone that aligns yourself more as, like a libertarian or someone who's, like, a capitalist or whatever, or, like, a classical liberal, like, even if you're that, like, my whole thing is, like, you can do things that don't affect other people's lives. And that is an example of something that does directly affect other people's lives. Like, the mining of coal gives people cancer. Fact. It just does. It's literally like putting uranium in your neighbor's water. Like, if you just like somehow like dug up, like put some weird like you're fucking Scarecrow in Batman Begins and you're dumping like fear toxin into the water. It's literally the equivalent of that. You are giving people cancer who happen to live near wherever this is happening. So I don't even understand, even if you are of the mind of just like the idea that like you can do what you want as long as you're not directly hurting someone else, that goes directly against that.
Also,
because you are directly hurting people.
Also, mining coal makes you less jolly. Klaus taught me that, so that's also a fact.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where I don't really want to get into the whole thing of capitalism lies to people and makes them value the fact they are slaves above their own lives and health and well-being.
Homework
I don't
for
want
this
to get
week, by the way, is Marx's Das Kapital.
Yeah, I don't want to get into all that, but you're onto something there. And okay, so Steve's is the environment. Rasco went, Connor went, so I'm sure everyone's on the tip of their seats waiting for me to say, what is the one thing that can make 2017 worse than 2016? Are you ready?
Sure.
Are you ready? It's going to be. That's the thing that's going to make 2017 worse than 2016.
Oh.
It is going to be. Because as bad as this election was, you at least had hope. You at least had hope looking up from the pit that you were in. You had the hope that Trump would not be president.
The hope that poisoned your soul.
Yeah, exactly. You had hope that Trump wouldn't be a president. You had hope, but now he is. Now his word is going to be law. It's not even a matter of, well, Democrats will fight him off. They have a supermajority. They can't do anything. It's all over. Like, Trump rode them all fucking in. Every single Republican that might have fought against him now knows that their job is completely dependent on Donald Trump. They're not going to fight him. They're going to pass every single piece of legislation that man puts forward. And it's going to be the fucking worst. Like, at least when Bush was in power, there was some pushback shortly after the whole patriotism thing died down with the Patriot Act. There was still some pushback. No, it's not happening, guys. It's gonna be complete cooperation. I will be shocked if they do not immediately, like within the first 2 months of announcing their nominee for Supreme Court, if they do not immediately pass that man. Because it's gonna be a man.
Yeah.
Should make that clear.
An old white creationist.
Yeah, probably. So just every
Science, what are you
single
guys talking
thing,
about?
Yeah, every single thing that has been bad about 2016 will be a trivial matter compared to how bad 2017 is going to be. And you want to know what's going to make 2017 even worse than 2016? 2018 is going to be worse.
Yeah.
Because then it'll be all set in, and it's not, and like, right now, the Democrats and everyone on the left is like, oh, well, maybe we can just, if we just hold out and we keep momentum into 2018, fucking Democrats don't vote in midterms. So you know what's going to make 2018 worse? 2019 is going to be worse. And I'll give you 3 guesses about what's going to make 2019 worse.
I don't know.
No. Trump's gonna try to get it so that he can run for a 3rd term.
Oh
That's what's
my
gonna
god.
We're
My
gonna-
favorite thing to say about 2016 is that it
Basically-
killed everything, including the hope for 2016 to be over.
Right?
Hear about, like, Donald Trump's doctor, what he just said about him the other day?
No,
No, I
what do you
didn't.
think?
They were talking about, like, so there's, like, a big push to have, like, Donald Trump have, like, some sort of, like, mental... People want to have doctors try and see if Donald Trump has some sort of, like, diagnosable mental disorder. And, like, Donald Trump's doctor came out and was talking about Donald Trump the other day, and they were talking about, like, is there a possibility there's something really wrong with Trump's health? And he's like, why does it matter? I mean, if he dies, Mike Pence is there. And if he dies, then there's this person. They just keep dying, and there's another person down the line. And it was like, wait a second, why are you talking about this like this is the plan? To just have a bunch of people just die down the chain. Like, what do you mean? What? That's what they're there for. It's why we have this, like, list of people to go to, one after the other, in case they die. Why does it matter if he's healthy?
Does anyone here, like, all of you are younger than me, does anyone here remember the Comedy Central show that came out in the early 2000s called That's My Bush?
Yes.
Nope.
There was, like, one joke on that show that I will never stop laughing at. And it was like Bush was convinced that someone in the White House was planning to murder him. And so he's presenting the evidence, like, he's got them all in a closed room, he's presenting the evidence of, like, who he knows is out to murder him. And he's like, you, Carl, I found this list of everyone that has to die in order for you to become president. What do you have to say to that? And then, like, his response is, sir, that's standard procedure, because we need to know that in case a lot of people die. We need to know who's going to be president. It's my favorite joke ever.
That's one of the best things Matt Stone ever did.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, it was good shit. It was just such a silly friggin' thing. Yeah, I remember there's an episode where, like, Laura Bush is sad that her cat is old and sick because she wants to be able to kill it, so they invite Dr. Kevorkian over to the White House to fucking kill the cat. It was like a whole thing. Okay, anyway. So yeah, does anyone disagree with me that the thing that makes 2017 worse is that it's going to be worse?
You don't
Like,
know that.
does anyone have any ray of hope?
I have a ray of hope.
This isn't going to change reality, and it's not like an optimistic it's okay. Think about it this way. I like to think of 2016 kind of like a Quentin Tarantino character, where Quentin Tarantino always describes his characters like he's like, look, my characters are gross people, and I show you all of their scars and their cuts and their warts, but at the end of the day, I'm going to get you to care for them and maybe even root for them. So if you view 2016 through the lens of a Quentin Tarantino character, it's actually maybe the best year. So if you just tweak your brain to work like that, it's only going to go up, I think.
If you tweak your brain to work like that, though, I feel like it ultimately doesn't matter, and you are not living in reality.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe the sooner we can, get this whole human race thing over with, that might be good.
I agree with you. The best thing about 2016 is that I still have a chance to die, but...
We haven't gotten to transhumanism technology yet. You could be stuck in this life for four lifetimes.
Don't you dare say that. I still have one day where I could die, alright?
Oh, man. Ouch. Just damn. God damn. That was painful.
Not painful enough, I'm still here.
I still have a ray of hope. It's irrational hope. Something could happen, right? Something could happen to make it good. There's outliers. They don't happen very often, but they do happen.
I honestly don't know. Unless Paul Ryan is able to rally the fuck out of everybody.
That bitch is not going to do anything, and it.
Of course he's not. Of course he's not. That's why, people are like, oh, well, maybe Republicans are gonna, swoop in. No, here's the thing. To Rasco's point earlier, maybe if Trump miraculously dies, doesn't matter. Mike Pence is already president.
Yep.
Yeah, just put that... the fact of the matter is, everyone's been bitchy lately. Oh, Trump doesn't sit in on his security briefings, but Mike Pence does.
No.
Want to know why? Mike Pence is president.
At least we don't have to see his face.
What if somebody did, a Godfather style, poisoning or, elimination of everybody? Then it'll be why the last man with the agriculture person is in charge? And they're like, what? Huh?
Keither Sutherland is the president of the United States.
Has anyone watched that show? It looked really odd.
I just feel like Keither Sutherland is not able to get out of that role.
Nope.
He's I'm just too old to play Jack Bauer anymore, guys. It's not believable. But, we still need you to be the hero this country needs. The one that tortures people.
People have often made arguments that Keither Sutherland would make a really good Cable. I could see it.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think he's just too old for it.
He's old now. I feel like 5 years ago, maybe.
Go back to Lost
he's also
Boys and
really
tell me he's
short.
not perfect.
He is kind of short. I feel like you could overcome the shortness a
You
little
can.
bit. If you if you
how
make
do
him
they
really
think-
stocky, the short thing could be funny.
Yeah, you could. But also, Johnny Depp's made a career, and he's so short. That dude is tiny.
Tom Cruise is short. Tom Cruise is 5'1".
Yeah, Antonio Banderas is really short as well.
Oh, really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you guys
They
ever
often
been to
cast
the
him
Man
with
Chinese
very
Theater?
petite women.
Have
What?
you guys ever been to the Man Chinese Theater in LA?
No.
Okay, they have Johnny Depp's footprints and handprints in the cement. I was 15 and my hands were bigger than Johnny Depp.
I didn't know if Johnny Depp was a hobbit.
Yeah, he's like a hobbit, man. And I was so short till I was 16, and then I finally hit a growth spurt. I was tiny for a long time. I'm like, man, even I'm bigger than Johnny Depp.
Yeah, women laughed at him when he was naked and everything.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that
Yeah.
was laughing.
Anyway. Yeah, so there's my reasoning for 2017 being worse. And I know it's fucking politics, and people are probably tired of me just bitching about politics, but you know what? If y'all fucking did something, this wouldn't be a problem.
Does
Can
anyone
I say this?
Sure.
Okay, I'll go ahead and say this just really quick. I heard so many people say, oh, good, this election's over. Now we can stop talking about it. People, you're so fucking dumb if you say that, because not talking about politics is what leads us to this election. It's the fact that we don't talk about it until it happens, and then it's oh, wait a second, we can't do anything about this?
People view it like a season of sports.
Yeah, it's so fucking ridiculous.
I'm
it
so
bothers me.
done. I'm so sick of people treating politics like sports. It drives me absolutely bananas. Because, the whole idea that, oh, it's our team versus that team, and people viewing this like a pissing contest between, two teams that we can't agree with them because that's the other team. No, let's work together, right? We're all stuck on the same continent of land together. Let's, try to, work together, you know what I mean? I'm so sick of the division. I'm so sick of the divide, but it's not going to go away if we don't keep looking at what's in front of us.
Yep.
You can leave, Connor. Get out of here. We don't want your kind anymore.
Yeah, well,
I
screw
don't
you
wanna hear
too,
from you.
Rasco.
Oregonians.
So, like, this is completely irrelevant to everything, but I
Orgamites.
find this kind of amusing. A bunch of people who subscribe to anonymous YouTube channels, like the hacker group Anonymous, are now subscribing to me.
That's weird.
I find that vaguely amusing. I was just checking my subscribers. I just got a new one. I find that vaguely amusing. Anyway, so Steve, you were going to say something.
I was just going to ask, does anyone have a favorite thing from 2016?
Civil War and/or Rogue One. But even then, those are like I'm more just like happy for people that those were good.
Yeah.
Than I am like I enjoyed them myself. Like I enjoyed both of them, but they're not my thing. Tom King's Batman.
Yeah, Batman number 12.
See, that's the way I am with the way you are with those. Like, I like Tom King's Batman. It's very well written, but
Yeah.
Well, okay,
You're just not used to good Batman. It's
yeah,
okay.
why don't you jump off a cliff again? So the thing is, like, I don't know if
Damn.
it's just systemic of, like, a horrible year, but I have not enjoyed, okay, so Klaus was the first time in months that this has happened, and I talked about this in that review where, you know, when you're when you review stuff and you experience a lot of art, you become susceptible to a lot of these different things, and or like you become aware of a lot of traps that a lot of stories fall into, and so you almost like have like this suit of armor or like a security system set up around you. Oh, this thing did that wrong, it fell into that trap. Okay, this did that wrong, it fell into that trap. But then, like, something can just, like, reach through it all and, like, just grab you by the spine, something so primal, and, like, you just love it. You can't do anything but just love it, right? And then
Yep.
that hasn't happened to me in so long. Like, I almost got to the point where it's like I should just stop watching so many movies or reading so many comic books or anything, because it's like I haven't loved something in so long. And that's what 2016 did to me. It made me stop loving, I feel. At least loving on a regular basis.
See, I had that very early on, but I'm not kidding. I really feel like Tom King's Batman is part of the reason I keep living. And again, it sounds dumb, but I am very honest about this because, like, one, I've lost my entire comic book collection. I lost my house. I'm just living in an apartment now. And of everything that I have lost, I feel like this weird paralleled relationship with Batman and Tom King that's constantly discussing who I am and how I'm going forward, and I can't help but love that series for that.
That's incredible. That's awesome, man.
So, I mean, that's part of my reason to live right now is I am Gotham, I am Suicide, and I am Bane. And when that's over, car can hit me if it wants to.
You'll get hit by a bus walking out of the comic shop.
Hopefully
with the last
Batmobile.
issue. Yeah, there'll be like that ultimate irony of like the Batfleck will be like a poster for Batfleck will be on the side because it'll be the ultimate irony that like Batman killed you but not the Batman that you like.
The murderous Batman murdered me.
Only pussies don't murder.
With a car.
That can be printed on the side. That should be on the new Batmobile. And in Justice League, every single like Bat vehicle should say "Only pussies don't kill people" on them. That should just be everywhere.
Oh, murder, man.
Yeah, now look, the comments are going to be flooded with people talking about why Tom King's Batman and why it is awful and why Batman vs. Superman is genius.
What?
It reminds me of like this really funny joke that I read one time. It's like, America, the only country that people believe the moon landing was faked but professional wrestling is real. It's like it's that same kind of contradiction where, I'm sorry, if you think Tom King's Batman is bad and then Batman vs. Superman is good, like there are things to dislike about Tom King's Batman, sure. David Finch's art being one of them.
Oh.
There are things to enjoy about Batman vs. Superman. There's some ideas in that I like. But, I mean, come on now.
Sure.
Just come on. At that point, I don't think you know what good Batman is. I severely question your ability to enjoy Batman.
I mean, there's a lot of Batman vs. Superman where I'm like, if you just ran with this, it would be genius. Part of my problem with 2016, in general, and specifically when it comes to superheroes, is that it is created, or at least it has seen the rise of this community of people that want to analyze things And part of me is like, yes, good for you. Think about things. But they want to analyze things in the most closed-minded, idiotic way possible. Okay, you want to say Batman vs. Superman is a tragic drama. Fine. But here's the thing. You have to make an argument. And if you aren't going to make an argument using actual sources and doing your actual fucking research, then I'm sorry, you don't know what you're talking about. All of these people that are talking about Batman vs. Superman being a revenge tragedy, they've never read Hegel, they've never read Benjamin, they've never read Aristotle, they've never read Shakespeare, they don't actually know what a revenge tragedy is, they just Googled the word and are piecing things together. And that is not an analysis.
Yeah. Like, if you want to understand structure, at least read the Poetics, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and I mean, I would be the first to argue Poetics is not a perfect book. There were lots of problems with the way Aristotle breaks down art, but...
There's a lot of problems with the way Aristotle does everything, including boyfuck.
Yes. I mean, but again, there is an argument there. There is a structure there. There are things you need to know. And I mean, if you want to talk about like music theory or art theory and shit, fine. But actually know art theory or music theory first.
I think the problem with story criticism opposed to other things is, while there are rules to telling a good story and everything, they're a lot looser than they are with just about any other art form.
Sure.
Because, like, people will entertain things like postmodernist music, but no one... I honestly don't believe that anyone who listens to postmodernist music listens to it like it's actually good, right?
Yeah.
What is it? Velvet Underground or whatever? Where, like, they purposefully have people that don't know how to play these instruments and stuff like that. Like, no one actively listens to that as good music. They listen to it for the interesting ideas which it presents about art itself.
Yeah.
But, like, when you're doing music criticism, you can say, okay, here's why it's bad, because these chords are overused, because this lyrical structure doesn't work, because these words don't rhyme. Yeah, you can do all these other things. Whereas with story criticism, there are rules, but they're so much more vague. And Cap says this all the time. You can get away with anything if you can just get away with it.
And again, vague is fine. Like, if you want to do an analysis of something and you just want to talk about your experience with it and how you're reading it, that's cool. But, like, if you're going to act like you're doing your research, then at least do your research. I did a rant about this on Facebook and on Twitter the other day, but Renegade Cut released a video on the Dark Knight trilogy and theories of justice, and I couldn't stand that video because it was awful. And he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. And then at the end, when he put up his sources, his sources were fucking Wikipedia and Wisecrack.
The shit with that.
Hey,
like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, that video is completely invalid in all forms. That video does not know what it's talking about if you're getting your philosophy from Wisecrack and Wikipedia. There wasn't a single primary source listed.
That's the thing. Those are secondary sources where, like, you see those things and you're like, okay, this is an interesting idea. I want to go read what they're reading to see if I can come to the same conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, those are things you read to get introduced to things that you should be reading. Or vice versa. You read the primary text and you need someone else to help you break it down. But you need to read the primary text or you don't know what you're talking about.
I generally speaking do enjoy Renegade Cut quite a bit. But yeah, that video was... really weak. And
my biggest problem with that video is he kept talking about justice and he kept using the word fair in his definition, and he absolutely does not understand that the word fair and the word justice have a long history of not meaning the same thing.
I know, that's really weird. That's really weird.
Justice and fairness was not a thing until the 90s, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting off on, like, a really awesome tangent. Oh, man.
That's
my favorite
thing
about
2016. I needed to have it my tangent.
No, that's fine. I miss the hell out of these things.
I love Renegade Cut when he's talking about David Lynch.
Yeah, David Lynch stuff's good.
Yeah. By the way, I really want to whatever. I really want to rewatch Fire Walk with Me because that movie is brilliant. But whatever. I'm also on a Twin Peaks kick. But the thing is, my favorite thing about 2016, I have a couple of things. I got to know a lot more people very well, including people here, but also, better. But, like, people that I, Comics Kid 2099 and I, good friend of mine, like now. I really enjoy like just chatting with him on a weekly basis, and so I feel like I've branched out more this year, and I like that. And see, that was a good thing that happened this year. And also, I got to watch Sing Street for the first time in a theater. That was an experience I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. That was awesome. Also, 2017 will be better than 2016 by virtue of I will see the Red Hot Chili Peppers live. I did not see them live this year, and I will see them live next year.
That's your ultimate goal, is the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Hey now, I love the Chili Peppers.
The like McDonald's of rock bands.
Oh no, I will fight you on that. They are not the McDonald's of rock. No, AC/DC is the McDonald's of rock band.
No, AC/DC actually pissed people off at one point in time before they became, like, really just,
you know. AC/DC, they have the same structure for every song they've ever recorded.
Yeah, exactly, but they actively contributed to rock and roll culture, unlike the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
AC/DC was something before Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly.
But who cares about, like, contributing to... Okay, I shouldn't say who cares about it. I'm not interested in about the cultural contributions about it. I'd really like the Chili Peppers because of their the way they have evolved musically and how interesting it is that there's not really two albums by the Chili Peppers that sound the same, but like each album is a really have very similar sounds to itself.
Yeah, it's cool. You want to go see Red Hot Chili Peppers concert?
Yeah, it's great.
I'm sure you'll enjoy spending time with all the other 13-year-old girls.
Oh, go to hell.
Sorry, I don't even hate the Chili Peppers or anything. That's just such an oddly specific thing to be really excited about. I have to make fun of you. The Chili Peppers are alright band. It's just I've never thought that there was a person who was like, yes, I'm going to go see the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
At least
you know what?
Was 3 Days Grace, right?
At least my answer
it would have been hilarious
right?
if Fall Out Boy or Nickelback. At that point, Connor would have lost all credibility as.
And I'll do you one even better. Chili Peppers are my favorite band. Bam.
Yeah, I figured. It's just it amazes me. Red Hot Chili Peppers in my mind are like, hey Ian, I've got tickets to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You want to go? Oh yeah, sure. That sounds like fun. As opposed to Ian, I've got tickets to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh my fucking god, you gotta take me with you. That seems like that's Connor's reaction. I never thought that was a reaction to that sentence that anyone would ever have. I don't know why I associate 13-year-old girls with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I do.
I don't know. The only people I associate with the Chili Peppers 40-year-old dudes from California. But
anyway,
I can see that too.
All right, what are you looking forward to in 2017? And that's what we'll use to end this video. Steve, you go first.
Black Panther is 2018, isn't it?
Yep.
I Am Bane. I Am Bane's gonna happen early 2017. Oh no, fuck that. I can't wait for I Am Bane, but I honestly think this could be the best Batman movie ever. I'm really excited for the Lego Batman movie. I can't fucking wait for the Lego Batman movie. That looks hysterical.
It
yeah.
does.
Yeah, I agree.
I love the Lego movie, and I love Will Arnett as Lego Batman.
He's so funny. Oh my god, I can't wait for that movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
How about you, Raska?
I already said this, but Alien Covenant.
But it could also be the worst for you, right?
It could be
if
really
it's
bad.
awful.
Yeah, things could go wrong. But I have faith.
I will say, it looks pretty, and that shower sex death scene is something I would definitely have seen in the original movie.
Yes.
I like that the sexual imagery is pumped up to 11 like the first movie.
Yeah.
Agreed.
What? But the abortion on screen in Prometheus didn't do it for you?
Not particularly, no, but maybe that's because I was distracted by Cyborg Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, fair enough.
He was probably the best part about that movie, though.
He was so good. Oh, I love him.
Okay. Connor's looking forward to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You remember in that 70s show when Styx came to town and Eric was the only one excited about it? He said, he stayed in line overnight in front of the like theater or whatever to get tickets, and then he woke up from his tent and realized he was the only one. Like that's how I imagine Connor right now.
I mean, the concert's sold out, but okay.
That's still just how I imagine you.
That's so funny. Okay.
Don't see the Red Hot Chili Peppers as that kind of band. That's so funny.
I mean, okay, they've got three very specific groups, right? Like, you already talked about the 13-year-old girls, and Connor's already talked about the 40-year-old men. But let's not forget
Connor
fans'
Nielsen.
mothers.
Oh, yeah.
Those
There we go.
they are going to buy lots of tickets. They want their children to be happy.
Yeah, there we go.
The thing I'm most excited for, though, probably is Twin Peaks Season 3.
Okay.
Is that actually hitting 2017, though?
Yes, it is. It was supposed to come out this year because...
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Twin Peaks?
I've seen most of it.
Okay.
I saw like an episode and thought it was weird David Lynchy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't gotten to the final episode, so...
No.
Never mind. And never mind. 25 years plays a weird part in the final episode, but... 25 years doesn't happen. Like, 25 years after the last episode was this year sometime, but Fire Walk With Me was 25 years ago from next year, so it's, I don't know, whatever. I'm excited for next year because it's for sure happening next year.
Okay, I keep hearing conflicting things about when that's supposed to come out, so I'm just never sure anymore.
They keep saying either, like, second quarter or in fall. I'm like, I don't care. They're at least coming out next year sometime.
Alright, as long as it comes out.
Yeah, there you go. For me, the thing I'm most excited for, and this is the cliche answer, but, I mean, I'm getting married, so I'm excited for
Well, there you go. That's definitely worth getting excited, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped for that. It should be a nice time, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Like, it's so awkward for me, because, like, I'm not a party person. Like, I hate going to parties, especially parties where everybody's drinking, because it's, like, the most boring thing ever.
Yeah.
But it's my wedding, so, I'm gonna have to be there. I can't leave early like I normally do. So, like, that part...
You could leave early, but Haley has to be with you.
Yeah. So that part's gonna be kind of, like, awkward and stuff, but I'm excited for the wedding itself, though.
Oh,
So,
that's exciting. Yeah. Congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you. It should be a good time. Okay. I think that's going to do it. Does anyone have any lingering thoughts about 2016 they wanted to get out before we end? No? I do.
Oh.
Fuck you, 2016. Anyway, maybe that should be the title of this episode as opposed to just 2016. Geeky Gentlemen 2016. Geeky Gentlemen, fuck you, 2016.
Or 2016, a fuck you manifesto.
Yeah. Anyway, since you've been gone for so long, Steve, what are we going to talk about next time?
Discussion or review?
We need a review.
Okay. Can we talk about the Werner Herzog Nosferatu the Vampire movie from the 70s?
Oh, okay, I was about to say, we're going to have to watch a fucking silent film.
No, not the original. The original's great and all, but I recently been getting into Werner Herzog, and I haven't seen that yet, and I just want to because people keep telling me it's just as good as the original, and also it spells vampire with a Y, and that automatically makes it cool.
That is cool.
Isn't Klaus Kinski play Nosferatu in that?
I don't actually know. I just saw the title, and I haven't looked into it yet because I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay, do you know, is it available on Netflix or anything?
I don't know if it's on Netflix, but you can find it online really easily if you just Google it.
Okay, sure. Should be good then. Alright, we'll talk about that fucking movie. I've already forgotten the name of it beyond Nosferatu, but...
I'll send you the link.
Okay.
It's just Nosferatu the Vampire.
Gotcha. Alright. Should be a good time. Everyone, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'm the Philosopher.
I am the Exile.
I'm the Squampus.
And I'm Miss Santa.
And we are your Geeky Gentlemen. And we will be discussing things. Should la la la, I don't know.